got the call there from my man Robert from Mobile on this season being championship or bust for the Crimson Tide. It's interesting that he brought that up because that was actually our final topic of conversation as to, why is this season championship or bust? Or why do U.S. fans feel strongly about this season being championship or bust? So here's my thoughts as to why. Last season, it was thought to be if Bama won a championship, it was overachieving, right? Because last year was a young team. You didn't have a whole bunch of senior and junior leadership. Your main two guys were Bryce Young and Will Anderson, two sophomores. Bryce Young, Heisman Trophy winner, among other national accolades. Will Anderson, Bronco Nagurski Award winner. Both of these two team captains. So you were led by two second-year players. And though they got you all the way to the national championship game and came up so close to knocking out Georgia and winning a national title, for a lot of you it was, okay, if this team wins, that's a major accomplishment. That this team overachieved. This team went beyond our expectations because it was a young team. We weren't necessarily expecting them to win a national championship. Now, they won. Bless the Lord. Praise Jesus. But it was not an expectation because of the youth that team this past season would win a national title. This time around, it's completely different. A lot of you guys feel like, okay, this is the team that should take the cake. This is the team that should win it all. More experience, more veterans, more big play guys, more coaches that are technically sound, know what they're doing. Coach Saban is stacking all of his talent out of the transfer portal. This is the team that should be getting it done this year. And 3 reasons why this is championship or bust. Number one, defensively, Bama's got nothing but veterans. Bama's got nothing but experience. They got nothing but dudes on defense. And now it's not just Will Anderson and the little engine that could. It's more guys. It's Will Anderson, who's the head honcho, but you got Dallas Turner, who's piped up right there with them. You got Chris Braswell, who has shown the coaching staff, going back to spring ball, that he can be trusted. He can go out there and ball and play. You have Henry To'o, who has a year of experience under his belt. You have Jalen Moody, who has been around the program for going on now 5 years, and he feels like now it's his time to do something, shake something, rock something, become something. Now in the middle, you look at, Jamil Burroughs, who had a massive spring, and, he's looking like he's a defensive tackle right there in the middle, even though DJ Dale has the experience at that spot there. Then you look at guys like Byron Young as a defensive end, and Justin Boygby and Jamarian Latham. You got big Jaheim Otis in here, a freshman, that did a lot in spring. If you go over secondary, you got guys like Kool-Aid McKinstry, Eli Ricks, Kyrie Jackson, Jordan Battle, DeMarco Helms, Malachi Moore, Brian Branch. You got veterans, a lot of veterans on this defense. And when you have veterans, you have communication. When you have communication, guys can play fast, guys can play with no fear, guys can fly around, guys can knock people's heads off, guys can play like this is Alabama football. Why? Because you have veterans on this defense. You have guys who are basically coaches on the field. And when you have a veteran defense, a lot of U.S. fans feel like, okay, veteran defense, experienced guys, there should be little to no problems on that side of the football. So that's number one. Number two, why it's championship or bust. But this is potentially, basically, Bryce Young's last season. Think about this. Every draft pundit right now has him listed as potentially the number one overall pick for the 2023 draft. If not number one, then number two. I mean, Bryce is going to go first round, period. Bryce is going to go top 5, top 10, no doubt about that. So this is setting up his last season in Tuscaloosa, and he wants to go out with a national championship as a starting quarterback. There's a reason Nick Saban is in this portal, and he pulled out Jahmyr Gibbs, dynamic, elite, electrifying running back. Jermaine Burton, who's a compact do-it-all, who's a compact, big play receiver. Tyler Harrell, who's a burner at wide receiver, Tyler Steen on the offensive line. And now you look at JUCO tight end and Miles Kitselman. And there's a reason why Nick Saban is making these moves. He's trying to put all of this help around Bryce Young because he knows this is going to be the last year for Bryce. We're trying to get Bryce national championship as a starting quarterback. Back-to-back Heisman should have happened for the first time since Archie Griffin at Ohio State. And then trying to make him #1 overall pick here for the 2023 NFL draft. And you still also got to keep your eyes on the receiver, Jordan Addison from Pittsburgh, who's been working out with Bryce Young. He's in the portal, hasn't made that decision yet, but you still got to keep your eyes on that story. That's still kind of developing. Does he choose the Crimson Tide too? We'll have to see on that. But number 2, definitely Bryce Young, knowing potentially my last season, got to come home with this national championship. And then last but not least, reason why this is championship or bust, Bama's got the coaches to get this done. They've got the coaches to get this done. Pete Golding is entering his 5th year in the program, his 4th year as a defensive coordinator. He's got the ability to get this done. He's just got to get this done in terms of his blitz packages, in terms of hitting home on pressure to the quarterback, in terms of stopping the run and forcing teams to be one-dimensional and creating those turnovers. For Bill O'Brien, we've talked about it all offseason, having more creativity. It doesn't matter how it comes in the offense, but getting more creativity with the running backs, with the receivers, with the tight ends, with the quarterbacks. Creativity with Jalen Milroe, creativity with Ty Simpson, if you can get him out there on the field as well in some situations. But having that creativity on offense for Bill O'Brien and having that defense play just rock solid, lights out if you are Pete Golding. And then, the position coaches, they have their task in front of them, whether it's Freddie Roach, having that defensive line play just junkyard dog mean up front. Coleman Hutzler, well, he's got all the talent with Will Anderson, Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell, Jeremiah Alexander as a freshman, so he knows the guys that he's working with. On the offensive line, Eric Wolford, getting these guys to play up to the standard. 5 guys working as one, decreasing the number of sacks Bryce Young took a season ago, but also being more consistent in running, pounding the football in between the tackles and what have you. So the coaching staff, Bama's got the coaching staff to get this done, and this is the reason why Saban went out there to bring in guys that have a blueprint in the SEC, that are technically sound and savvy in what they do and have an expertise in what they do. Eric Wolford, expertise offensive line. Travaris Robinson, expertise cornerbacks. Coleman Hutzler, expertise outside linebacker, special teams. This is just what these guys do. Joe Cox, expertise tight ends. So if this is the expertise, U.S. fans want to see this go into fruition with winning a national championship. And this is the team, the coaching staff, and the player personnel to get this done. This is why U.S. fans feel like, okay, this is the team. National championships got to come with this group this year.